So you're pretty good at reading and writing in English. But when it comes to actually speaking in English, you struggle or you blank out. What are my top tips to overcome that fear? This is what we're going to talk about today. Before we get started, I have a question for you. According to the Guinness World Records, who was that first polyglot who was able to become fluent in 42 different languages? Is it A, B, or C? If you know the answer to this question, then comment it down below. I'll be revealing the answer later on in the video. Quite frankly, if you listen to a lot of English, whether it's podcasts, the news, movies, or TV series, that is the first step when it comes to speaking in English. A lot of people assume that speaking English happens overnight. Unfortunately, it doesn't really work that way. It takes years of practice. But the foundation of speaking, aside from reading and writing, is listening. I mean, think about it. Toddlers, they first learned how to speak English or speak their own native language by mimicking the sounds around them, not by reading a storybook. Kids tend to learn how to read at the age of probably 4 or 5. Toddlers hear their parents speak to them and they listen to nursery songs and also they watch cartoons. They listen to the characters speak and over time they start mimicking them. That's why listening is a great foundation. I mean, how would you know the right pronunciation of words? You don't learn pronunciation by reading a book. That's why I have students telling me, oh, Miss Chen, I can read, but I cannot speak. So if you are not exposed to the language, it is much more difficult for you to learn the pronunciation of the word. And therefore, you kind of struggle when you're speaking. So one massive tip that I can share with you is to listen, 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 and repeat. There's a huge variety of resources online. You can listen to podcasts, watch movies, audiobooks, and even watch YouTube videos. All of these are great so you can be exposed to the English language. And as you continuously do this, you will start thinking in English. So what kind of videos or materials should I watch or listen? Number one, it has to be something that you really, really like, something that's fun and entertaining for you, or it could be something that's related to your career. It's because consistency here is really the key. If you get bored at the video or audio that you are listening or watching, you will tend to just stop. For me, when I first started learning Chinese, I started with watching cartoons. When I was a child, I really, really loved cartoons. So if you're into cooking, you could watch a YouTube video that has something to do with cooking, or probably there's a TV show for that. You can watch like Hell's Kitchen or whatever. And if you're into traveling, you can watch travel vlogs on YouTube. That is a great way to practice your listening. Next, you need to be consistent. You need to constantly practice. When I say consistent, I don't mean spending 24/7 reading a book. What I mean is spending maybe an hour or even 30 minutes a day doing everyday things in English. We now live in a world where resources are available to us at just a click of a button. We can learn using our phones. We can watch movies, we can even read the news, listen to podcasts, you name it. We can do everything on our phone. So start practicing. You can start with just 5 minutes a day and then go from there, just baby steps. That's what I did. And be consistent. By being consistent, I mean to do it daily without fail. There are endless ways you can practice your English. One is, of course, during commute to work. Rather than staring blankly out the window, you can listen to podcasts. And during your break time, you can read the news in English. You can even go on social media and watch short form contents. with subtitles if you want to. And finally, just speak. You've been memorizing vocabularies, reading, listening. You've done every possible way to accumulate new words and stick them to your brain. The way to activate those vocabularies that are stuck in your brain is by using them by speaking. And if you're not ready, too shy, no one to practice with, you can start by talking to yourself. Yes, this may sound crazy to you, but trust me, it's not. No one is there to look at you in your room and judge you. You can do whatever you want. You can narrate your actions or even ask yourself, like when you're cooking, for example, like, oh, where did I put those eggs I bought yesterday? Oh, this is a spatula. I will use this to flip the egg. How should I cook these eggs? And by doing all this, you will start thinking in English. And if you do have someone to practice with, that's even better. But where can I find these speaking partners? Well, you can start with your friends or your family, or you can scour the internet for people who have the same goals as you, and that is to practice speaking in English. Oh, and there are two ways on how you can go about this. There's a free version and a paid version. Let's start with the paid version. For the paid version, you can hire an English teacher online or maybe offline. Now, the benefits of this is that you will get one-on-one attention with the teacher. The teacher will give you corrections, and the topic materials are usually prepared for you. Oh, and lastly, you would also get a written lesson notes to review after each lesson. Now, of course, the cost of this does vary. For private one-on-one lessons, usually it's about $5 to $15 for 30 minutes. And for group lessons, on the other hand, it ranges from $4 to $7 for 30 minutes per person. Now let's talk about the free version. One is you can find a language exchange partner. By doing language exchange, that means you teach this person, let's say you want to learn English, you find a native English speaker who also has the goal of learning your native language. And basically what you guys are going to do is you are going to exchange languages. For 30 minutes, you're going to teach that person your native language, and the remaining 30 minutes is that person is going to teach you his or her native language. And the next one is you can find a speaking partner. So you guys are going to arrange a time for you to speak English together. And that's it. I hope you guys find my tips very useful. Let's go to the answer to that trivia question. The answer to that trivia question is, did you get that correctly? And that is it for today. So thank you so much for watching. So if you enjoy videos like this, so be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit that notification bell down below. And I will see you guys next week for another video.